The icy wind howled through the small neighborhood like a ghost searching for warmth, rattling windows and bending the bare trees. 12-year-old Liam shivered as he pulled his jacket tighter, the bowl of soup in his gloved hands steaming in the chill. He had almost made it back inside after school when he spotted old Mrs. Abernathy's porch light flickering, a signal his mother once told him meant she needed help. Mrs. Abernathy had lived next door for as long as Liam could remember. She was the quiet kind, always peeking through her lace curtains, rarely coming outside, and never having visitors. Kids at school whispered she was a witch, some even dared each other to ring her doorbell on Halloween. But Liam's mom always brought her groceries when she could, and said Mrs. Abernathy was just someone the world forgot to check in on. That evening, Liam's mom was stuck at the hospital pulling a double shift as a nurse. So when he saw the flickering light, he heated some leftover chicken soup himself and decided to bring it over. As he walked up the creaky wooden steps, a sudden unease crawled down his spine. The porch smelled faintly of cedar and something else, something older, sadder. He knocked once. No answer. He knocked again. A weak, raspy voice called from inside. "Come in, if you don't mind." Liam opened the door slowly. Inside was a different world. Dim light spilled from a single table lamp, casting shadows on walls lined with old photographs. A smell of old books and lavender hung in the air. In the corner, in a worn-out recliner, sat Mrs. Abernathy, bundled in blankets. Her face was pale, thinner than he remembered, but her eyes were sharp, almost too sharp. "You brought soup?" she asked, her voice like paper crumpling. "Yes, ma'am," Liam replied nervously. "My mom's at work, but I saw your porch light." Mrs. Abernathy looked at him for a long moment, then smiled faintly. "That's kind of you." He helped her take the bowl, then hovered awkwardly. "You can sit, if you like," she said. That day turned into 2, then 3. Liam began stopping by every afternoon with a small offering, sometimes soup, sometimes just conversation. She told him stories about her late husband, about growing up in the South, about a daughter she hadn't spoken to in over 20 years. Her stories always ended with a sadness that settled into the walls like dust. One chilly Saturday, Liam brought over some cookies he'd helped bake at school. But when he knocked, there was no answer. The porch light wasn't flickering. It wasn't on at all. He pushed the door open, it was unlocked. "Mrs. Abernathy," he called, heart pounding. She was there, in the same chair, but something was wrong. Too still. Too quiet. Paramedics came after he dialed 911. His mom rushed home as soon as she could. Mrs. Abernathy was taken to the hospital. Pneumonia, the doctors said. If Liam hadn't come when he did, she might have died that night. She stayed in the hospital for days. Liam visited once with his mom, bringing her a small stuffed bear. Mrs. Abernathy held it like it was made of gold. Then, one afternoon, she was gone. Liam and his mom found out at the front desk. "She passed peacefully," the nurse said. "She asked us to give you this." It was a sealed envelope. Liam opened it, hands trembling. Inside was a letter, written in elegant, trembling cursive. "Dear Liam. There are moments in life when angels don't have wings. They wear sneakers and carry soup. That's what you were for me. You didn't just bring me food. You brought me the warmth I'd forgotten existed. You reminded me of kindness in a world that often forgets the old and the quiet. I've lived many years, some joyful, many lonely. But you gave me the gift of being seen, of being loved, even if just for a short while. I had almost given up. But you changed my story's ending. In my will, you'll find something for you and your mother, a small thank you. But more than that, I want you to know this, you matter. Your kindness rippled into a soul that was drowning. Never underestimate what a single act of love can do. With all the warmth you brought me. Margaret Abernathy." The will. Liam and his mother were stunned. A week later, they learned that Mrs. Abernathy had left them her house, the same quiet, creaky house with its photos and shadows and lavender scent. She had no surviving family willing to accept it. But it wasn't the house that changed Liam. It was the idea that something as small as a bowl of soup, as simple as sitting and listening, could reach deep into someone's darkness and pull them into the light. Years passed. Liam grew up, went to college, and studied social work. He started a nonprofit that paired students with elderly neighbors in need, for chores, yes, but also for companionship. He called it the Porch Light Project. In every speech, he told the story of Mrs. Abernathy. And he always ended the same way. Sometimes, the greatest impact we make doesn't come from grand gestures or loud words. Sometimes, it comes from soup in a bowl, a warm smile, and the courage to knock on the door of someone the world has forgotten.